Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the special exhibition episode here, where we're going to feature some of our stallions who are a part of our exhibition stallion program. And today's first guest and special guest is Brian and Giselle Aebly. They're coming to us online because they're enjoying some life down in the desert. They've got out of the cold here in Canada. And Brian and Giselle are the proud owners of Spook's Big Bang. You probably come to know him as Bubba. So we're going to talk with Giselle and Brian today and try and learn a little bit more about Bubba. Of course, we do have his breeding available in our auction that is only running for another week here. But even if you miss out on that winning bid, of course, we want to find out about how you can breed your mare to Bubba. So thank you for joining us here today. Welcome to the episode, Brian and Giselle.
Thanks for having us.
How's the weather down there? Is it not as cold as up here in Canada?
No, it's nice down here. It's been cold in the mornings. We've had some frost mornings, but you're still in a t-shirt in the afternoon, and we're still riding outside, and it's beautiful. Beautiful.
That sounds lovely. Now that I have to tell you, I think you might know both my daughters. They go to school down in the U.S., and my wife, of course, has been watching all of the weather that they've had down there. Myself as well, of course, all the snow in New Orleans, where my younger daughter Lane is, and then my older daughter Danae in Kentucky. For the most part, this last week, it's been colder there than it has been back here in Calgary. So that's, I guess, good news for us. Not so good news for the people down south.
Yeah. No, I'm glad. I think we're in the best place right now.
It's cool in the mornings the last couple of weeks, but it's going to warm up next week. I think it'll be in the 70s pretty much all day.
Well, let's talk about Bubba here, Spook's Big Bang. So first off, I do want to say thank you for supporting the Stallion auction again this year. This is the second year that we've done the Stallion auction. It's the second year of our reining stakes and stallion program. But not only that, you've also been an incredible supporter of everything that we've done at the exhibition. And so you've stepped up in a big way for being a saddle shootout for the past couple of years and for 3 years now, actually. And so to have been so generous that way and to be so generous, not just us, but everywhere in the community. I know not just me, everyone thanks you for that support. Can you tell me where and when did you purchase Bubba?
Well, we didn't purchase Bubba. Bubba was born. We raised him ourselves. Brian dabbled in reining a long time ago. I made him, and he bought a mare, and she was kicked in the trailer and had a career-ending injury. So we just decided, what the heck, and we shipped some semen from Spook's Got a Gun. And we got Bubba, and he has been spectacular. We kind of hit the lottery with him.
Yeah. Well, that is incredible. And I don't know if I didn't know that or I just forgot that he's a true born and raised here in Canada then. And, I know him from his 3-year-old year. That's the first time I saw him in the show pen. What was that sort of journey of his life? Like, how did you know right away that you had something special and that he was going to be a star out there in the show pen?
No, I don't think so. He was pretty cute, and he was looked like Spook's Got a Gun, and we sent him to get started. And then we rode him his 2-year-old year just at home. And then we sent him to Locke to kind of bring him along. And one of us was going to use him as a non-pro horse. We had no idea that he would be. And then, so we were making payments into the NRHA futurity. And one of us was going to show him, me probably. And then Locke said, he's pretty talented. And so we thought, well, we'll just leave him and Locke can show him in the open. And then, maybe his 4-year-old year, we'll show him as a non-pro horse. And we both were working that whole summer and never saw him. And then we went to the Fall Classic, I think, and that was the first time we saw him. And we were just blown away by how talented he really was, like how fast he could turn and how big he could stop. But yeah, it was a surprise to us. He was just this like Bubba that we'd raised. So
I
it
mean,
was pretty exciting.
everyone knew when, even in that 3-year-old year, when he came into the arena, people got excited and they wanted to come and see that talent that you're talking about, and specifically the spins. I mean, man, I would say I'd never seen a horse spin that fast, and I don't know turn that fast. I don't know if I'll ever see it again. Like, it was absolutely incredible. He must have just been having fun, because they talk about the try, and the level of try for Bubba in those turns was just incredible. Is that what you remember as well?
Yeah, yeah. I can just remember Brian, and we were watching him in the warm-up pen, and Brian turned to me and said, "Did you know he could spin like that?" He used a few cuss words, and I was just like, "No, I had no idea that he could spin like that." Because Locke, he's very, very, yeah, he's doing good. Yeah, I'm happy with him, and he downplays everything. So it was super exciting. There's nothing to describe how much fun those few months of his futurity year were. It was just always fun and so exciting to watch. And he belonged to us.
Yeah. When you talk about his looks and that, like, he's a good looking guy. Obviously, you're crediting, his lineage for how he came to look like that, but he seems to be passing that along, because your 3-year-old last year, my goodness, there's a lot of similarities. Am I correct on that?
Yes, yeah, she looks a lot like him. She's bigger, like lankier and bigger than him. He's a little bit more compact, but she definitely has the look, and she has the stop, and she's starting to turn pretty good. I'm pretty excited about showing her as a 4-year-old. Um, she's a lot of fun, and we have another one that coming 3-year-old, like a 3-year-old this year, that is plain. She has a little star, and she's really talented, really stops nice, and really can turn, and just really cute. Changes are easy for her, and Pearl is going to show her this year.
I was going to say, is this a good time to talk about your daughter, Pearl, who's obviously a very important part of everything we also do at the exhibition, and specifically, her role within our Stallion program and the Stallion auction and the reining stakes. She's in charge. She manages it for us, and she does an incredible job there. But she's also the breeding manager for Bubba. Do you want to talk a little bit about Pearl and her role and all of that good stuff?
Yeah, Pearl's pretty much the driving force. She deals with everything that is related to Bubba. Brian shows him, but Pearl hauls him to the vet to be collected. She hauls broodmares to the vet to be collected. She looks after the contracts. She looks after sales. She looks after everything. And we would not be able to do it without her. Like, with the way our work works, there's no way that we could have a breeding stallion without Pearl.
And she loves him, and she's passionate about it. And, she is a real gift to the exhibition. And I know I've raved to both of you many times, and I've talked about it in other, to, anyone who will listen to me, because she's a hard worker, and she's so reliable, so professional, so efficient. And I would guess, for someone out there who's looking to breed their mare, knowing that Pearl is going to be there to facilitate that process, they're in such great hands. And so, I'm imagining that's a real advantage for Bubba's success that he's had so far, because you guys haven't been breeding him obviously for that long. He's still a fairly young guy, right?
Yeah, and like from our point of view, and she was there from the very beginning, and being a mare owner and trying to get semen and trying to juggle the vet and having a mare that's a little tough to get in full, because Bubba's mom was really, really difficult to get in full. We know the frustrations of being a mare owner, and because Pearl can just deal with it, we can ship semen whenever someone needs it, except on weekends. And we can do lots of stuff last minute, and that's the advantage of her working for you too, is that you're so flexible that she's able to haul them over and get them collected on short notice. If someone's like, oh my gosh, I took my mare and she's ovulating today and I gotta have semen, We understand that we were mare owners, and we know what
Mhm.
it's like, and she knows what it's like. So she's very accommodating if people need last
And then
minute.
you guys are right next door. I don't know what the total minutes or mileage is away, but by Hyde Veterinary Services, and that's where you are able to connect with them and make that process so seamless as well. Is that accurate?
No, it's Moore and Company. Their breeding facility, their
Okay.
stallion place. It's Moore and Company, and it's probably what, like 5 minute drive.
5 minute drive, yeah.
And Bubba is pretty talented in that. Um, he's pretty quick. He gets in there and he sees his girlfriend, and usually Pro can be back home in less than half an hour.
Yeah.
So he's very efficient that way too, and it works out perfectly. But it's probably 5 minutes, and they're very flexible at Moore and Company too. Dr. Berzowski is great. He's got a great team. And
now I of course I made the mistake on the hide part of it there, but I do make a lot of mistakes, as people who have come to know me know. But the Moore veterinary, they have a location on the north part of the city as well.
Yeah, they're in Balzac, and then
Yeah.
their breeding place, and they have another like a smaller satellite veterinarian clinic right in DeWinton. It's like right close. But we have collected at Hyde's. If we're in Red Deer at a horse show, I'm really good friends with Brian's wife and Brian, and I can call him up and he'll collect for me. So
I knew you guys were so tight, and I guess in my mind that's why I made that direct connection there. But I can embarrass myself a little further, because I was meeting a wonderful reiner who I had something to drop off to, and I was told, well, you can meet us at Moore's, because they were from up near Red Deer, and that was a lot closer. It didn't work out to be that much closer, because I went to the one by you, and of course they, logically coming from Red Deer, were at the one in the north, just north of the airport. And so yes, that I have been to both of those locations, despite not being a horse guy. Yeah. So you've talked a little bit about the talent, and let's talk a little bit about Bubba's personality, because he has a lot of it, doesn't he?
Yes, yeah, he does. But he's all business when you get on him.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't fool around once you're riding him. He's good. He's just moving around with him, and he's just a little quirky, but he's never mean, and he's all of us have shown him, everyone in the family. Brian showed him in Green Rainer, so he's pretty flexible that way. But yeah, he's just a cool horse. Like, he's fun to be around. He's fun to ride. He's really fun to show. He loves being shown.
Yeah. Well, and specifically, Brian, I know you've laid down some pretty big scores together with Bubba there, and so what's possible, but it doesn't always work out that way. But the fact that he can be such a great non-pro horse, but still also be, he's had big success in the open classes as well. I mean, I'm guessing, as a lot of the people who are looking to own a horse or breed a horse, they have to be thinking about, will it be a successful non-pro experience? And clearly that's been the case for Bubba and you, right, Brian?
Well, yeah, if I can remember the pattern, it usually works out pretty good. But it's like, if any mistakes are made, they're made by me. He's pretty good. When you're walking beside him, he's a bit of a little irritating at times, likes to nip at you and stuff, but nothing terrible. But as soon as you get on him, he just stands there, doesn't do anything, just does whatever you tell him to do. Yeah, he's fun to ride, and when he stops, it's a pretty good feeling. It's pretty easy on your body. He stops so good, and he can really spin. I can't really get him to spin as fast as Locke can, but
I think that for safety reasons, that's a good thing.
Yeah, but he's pretty good. Yeah, it's fun. He's fun to ride. Yeah. He does pretty much whatever he asks. Like I say, Yeah, if mistakes are made, they're made by me usually.
Yeah. Well, I know that he's been having a lot of people show interest in breeding to him, because when I look at the prospects that are already nominated to the Reining Stakes program, that he's got, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he has the most prospects, and unless that's changed since the last I had, he was leading the way the last time that I knew, and so a lot of people are obviously choosing him. In your experience so far, have you been able to make a sense of the mare that is a good fit with some of the strengths that we've already talked about for Bubba?
I think the whizzes, just just like a whiz mare on Spook's Got a Gun,
Mm-hmm.
created Spook's Got a Whiz. We're riding a whiz right now, like a bottom side uh, top sail whiz, and she's pretty talented, and she's smaller and compact. Sometimes he throws quite big, but those horses are doing well in the roping arena. But I think if anybody had anything with whiz in it on the bottom side there, then I think that would be a great cross. I'm really thinking about trying to find a way to breed back to the mare that we have, the 3-year-old that we have right now, because she's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So you talked about, kind of took you off where Pearl's going to be showing the 3-year-old next year that you're really excited about. And Pearl's been talking about all last year about that opportunity that's coming down her way. So I know she's super excited. Are there any others that you've got that you already know that are showing some talent?
Actually, no, we've pretty much sold everything.
Yeah.
It's, when they look really cool when they're little babies, when they have the big bald face, and or they're black, or they're really hard to keep. And because Brian and I are getting close to retirement, we don't want to have a bunch of horses. We want to have a couple horses that we show, and maybe a couple brood mares. And we're trying to, if it wasn't for Pearl, I don't know how we'd even have Bubba. So we're trying to slow things down. We want to retire. We want to spend our winters here. We don't want to spend winter in Canada anymore. It's cold. Well, we still can, we can still travel while we're young enough. So we're changing a few things in our lives, but there'll always be a Bubba baby somewhere. And we have a couple more due in the spring, and we'll just see how they come. But I really like my 4-year-old. I think she's going to be a really nice non-pro horse for me. And this 3-year-old is going to be really cool for Pearl. And we'll just keep riding Bubba as long as he's sound, and doesn't have any issues right now, and he's 13 this year. So that sets something towards his longevity. And, if he passes that on to his babies, he is completely sound. There's no issues with him at all. He gets injected his hocks. I mean, when you're as physical as he is, he's going to have some. He's just like any athlete, but he hopefully will pass that on to his offspring.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like he passed a milestone here this year for earnings, and the thing that people probably need to realize, if they're not already aware, earnings in Canada can be hard to come by because our purses are smaller, and of course the NRHA does a conversion to figure out what those NRHA earnings actually are. But I feel like he's had success and consistently throughout the years, just as you said, he's maintained that health, and so that's really great. And is there anything I'm missing as far as that side of things?
No, like I just, it's definitely an issue being in Canada, earnings wise. He's probably I'm going to say probably 50% of his earnings were in Canada. And if you do the exchange on that, he'd be way over $50,000. He's won $50,000 in NRHA earnings. He'd probably be closer to 75 if it wasn't for the exchange. He also has earned it like a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
He wins $500 or $1,000 at a show in Canada, where if he was in the United States, he'd win $20,000 or $30,000 at a show. So you know, every penny that he's earned, he's worked hard for.
Well, and it doesn't tell you with those earnings. I mean, I guess you can do the deep dive and get the stats, but as you said, he's been ridden by, you know, yourself and Brian and Pearl, and so like a lot of those earnings that you see, those are non-pro earnings as well.
Yeah, probably when I started riding him, he was just around 25,000. So he's earned a little bit open since then, because a couple open riders have ridden him since then. But so half of his earnings have been non-pro earnings.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, like I said earlier here in our chat, I really hope that people take advantage of the opportunity that you've generously given, which is to win that breeding for Bubba through the exhibition auction. But if they miss out and they still want to do that, what's the best way for people to get a hold of you and then learn more and hopefully make the choice to breed to Bubba?
Well, he has a Facebook page and Facebook Messenger, and you will be right in contact with Pearl, and she is on it. If she gets a message, she's responding right away, and she's really good about explaining exactly what needs to be done. Like she is very helpful to people. Because I get the messages too, and she's quick and she's very helpful.
And I can attest to that. And that's that same messaging that she delivers. If people are asking questions about the Stallion auction, that's the same Pearl that you're usually getting the response from. And it is so fast and accurate. And so, well, thank you both for coming on, giving up some of your sunshine time down there in the desert. I know that you've had some great riding experiences, and you're telling me a little bit about your ride here today. So enjoy that and continue to enjoy the sunshine. And we'll be in touch, and we'll look forward to seeing you back up here in Canada for 2025, and see you out there in the show pen and continue those earnings for not only Bubba, but now you know, your 4-year-old and your 3-year-old and then other people who have of course purchased offspring from Bubba are showing as well. So it's an exciting year, and again, I cannot thank you enough. Your support of everything that we do is truly appreciated, and you've been a huge part of the reining industry here in Western Canada for many, many years. So continue that. Thank you, and enjoy your time in the desert.
Well, thank you, Dave. Thanks for the TRX stuff. That's great. We have that exhibition and all that to show at. It's a great opportunity.
The potential for it is there, and you know, what we need is people to know that it's there. So we're working on the communication of it. So if you're watching this video, or if you see the Facebook posts, you know, taking a moment to like those posts or reshare those posts, it goes a really long way. And I feel like, you know, we believe strongly that there's huge potential, huge value to support that reining community here in Western Canada and also the Northwestern United States. And who knows, the opportunities that we're trying to build here as we grow our show. And of course, this year, hopefully people know, but moving to the Calgary Stampede, super exciting. So we do have big ambitions of creating a really great show here in Canada, and supporting our program through the reining stakes and the Stallion program is essential. So thank you, viewers, and by all means reach out to the Aebleys and through the Facebook, as we heard. If you go to exhibition.ca or exhibition.club, both websites, they land in the same place, and click on the Stallions there, because that's where you'll learn about the Stallion auction. You'll find the link to the auction, but you'll also find that for our Stallions who a lot of our top Stallions on there, we've actually got a web page built for them. And so, you know, you can click on Spook's Big Bang and you'll see some beautiful pictures and see that beautiful horse we're talking about. I think there's some videos to watch there. So many ways to learn more. And now's the time to go check that out. So, all right. Well, thank you again. And we'll be in touch real soon.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Dave.